products in the current situation, and how do you manage the manpower, and which main technologies help you to ensure timely availability at every location over such a large network of operations?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Parekh. Good afternoon to the entire Messrs. Frankfurt team, my distinguished participants, and the people who are on poll doing the chat. And it's a very good afternoon to all my panelists. Let me first start with explaining to what logistics is. So it's a very small thing. Logistics is nothing but a supply of goods and products, services from one place to another by using some medium. This medium could be a tank truck, it could be a tanker, oil tanker, it could be rail or rake, and it could be even the aeroplane. So, these are the mediums, and logistics is very, very important for a production unity to just gather momentum, because without any logistic moment, even if you produce, you will not be in the position to send it across to its consumers. So this is what logistics is all about. For a successful logistics to be in place, there are few elements which are very, very important. Now, unfortunately, due to this COVID-19, that black swan event, which has put everybody into a lockdown, even all of us are discussing, talking to each other through a webinar rather than a seminar which was proposed. So we have to look into all these aspects, and there are disruption which has been caused across the nation when you talk on India. Now, just to give you one brief as to how and where we are placed, we have to understand how big is the logistic industry. So just to explain to that, Indian Brand Equity Foundation, that is IBEF, it just informed us that 40 million people, now 40 million people are affected when there is no logistics or there is logistics. So they are all associated with logistics. And this is the industry which caters for around $200 billion as far as India is concerned. So I'm just talking in terms of the hugeness, how huge this industry is. Now, what to do? What are the basics and where we stand right now? For any logistic industry to be successful, fuel cost is of prime importance. Now, fuel cost, if you look at the fuel cost, government, in order to, give some concession to all the industry, to poor, to the migrant laborers, what they have done, even although the crude prices have fallen, but if you look at the VAT, that is value added taxes, they've been increased by 3 rupees. So this just goes on to show us that this is going to affect the logistic industry in a big deal. And with this coming into picture, how logistic operations are going to sustain. Now, for sustenance of logistic industry, then industry has to think in a different manner, and they have to think in terms of improving the business process. Now, unless they improve the business process, it will be quite difficult for logistic industry to survive. So how do they improve the business process? Now, for business process improvement, logistic process to be flexible enough. Now, logistic industry, that is the truckers, the transporters, the railway, they have to look beyond all these aspects. They cannot be, looking at only supply chain mechanism of them. They have to look at the production, the companies who are doing the production, what are their costs? And they have to be flexible enough to change their business processes. Like suppose if there is a logistic industry or there's a trucker which is associated with a company, and in normal time it was producing that particular product in 4 rupees and giving them a logistic cost of 50 paise. Now with this COVID coming in, the production costs have just gone up. It has become 4.5 rupees. So how the logistic industry will deal with such a situation? Now they have to give such a solution like reducing the number of tank trucks, reducing the number of the trailers, and increasing the quantity to be taken across. So this is one of the solutions which needs to be given. So their business process needs an improvement, and they have to go beyond business process improving. Once you improve the business process, then you come to the improved customer service. Let me assure all of you and inform all of you, customer services for any industry is very, very important. If we look at customer services, as far as the terminaling operations are concerned, anybody going to a terminal will like to have a better customer processes coming into picture, better customer services coming into picture with a lesser cost. So cost is not going to increase, and this has to be learned. This has to be put into the systems by the operating companies as well as